let's say you're like, yo, I've never done this movement before. How do I how do I warm up for that? Because it's like the way I approach a lot of things is it's just like I think sometimes people get so obsessed over like percentages or and it's like literally just like rip a weight and then go based off of how it feels, right? Because it's like ultimately with the working sets, the goal is, does this feel challenging? I'm not like destroying myself, but like, is it really challenging? And also, and if we're not, increase weight, right?
Yeah. No, a really safe way to do this is just pick a light weight and do like 5 to 10 reps. And then if that feels pretty easy, then add a little weight and do 5 to 10 reps again. And when you pick one that feels kind of hard, do like 3 to 5 reps with it and then raise the weight and do your working set. It's obviously something that is a technique that you hone in on over time. Experience is obviously critical, but for that person that's just trying to figure it out, like, I would go into the gym and I would use 10-pound dumbbells and do 10 reps and be like, that's easy, right? Okay, I'll try the 15s. Okay, that was pretty easy too. Go to the 20s. Okay, that was a little harder, so I'll stop at 5, but it still feels like a warm up. And then, okay, I'll go to the 25s. And then say you go to the 25s and they're too easy. You want to count it as a work set? Just keep going. Like, just go till it gets hard. Eventually, those 25s are going to get hard for you. If you get 20 reps with them, then you know you can do the 30s or the 35s, right? Or you get to 10 with the 25s and you're like, oh, that still feels really easy. I'll just call that another warm-up set. And then I'll go to the 30s or 35s and make that a work set. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not like you're going to make your results negligible just because you did too much warming up or whatever, like you're just trying to figure it out. And so doing more sets and kind of feeling it out is really just the way to go. Like, don't be scared of practicing the movement.
Don't be scared. Yeah. I tell my clients this all the time. Like, don't be scared, right? Like, you're going to have to learn. It's like an aspect. You have to learn how to lift.
Yeah. You have to learn how to do anything, man.
Yeah.
Like, no one's good at parenting the first time that kid comes out. Figure that shit out.
Yeah. What's funny is like when you were talking about how like a new person, like sometimes when I'm trying like a new movement that I've never done, sometimes I'll pick up a weight and I'm like, oh shit, like that was actually really challenging. And then what I thought was going to be my warm up becomes actually my first working set. So
sure. Yeah. I was just saying, when it comes to the new movements or movements that you haven't done before, like there are very few movements I haven't done before in 25 years of training, but there are changes to technique of movements that I've performed before, but doing them differently forces me to almost be like a newbie. Mm-hmm. And I will go back and I'll use really light weights for 2, 3, 4 sets just because I'm trying to nail the mind muscle connection and the elbow position and like whatever, the impact is of that movement and on my physiology. Like, I want to be able to hone in on the specifics of that movement to optimize it for what I'm trying to do. And so doing more lighter sets is fine. It's not like you're going to get tired. Like, it's almost like doing zone 2 cardio is like, you're just practicing. You're not actually like working out. So feel free to practice as much as you need to,
I was going to chime in because I was just thinking about a post that was in the Paragon group today. And it like somebody was very frustrated with a certain movement. And she was just like, yo, like I cannot figure out like B stance RDLs to save my life. Like, what the fuck? And something I kind of chimed in with is it's like sometimes too with movements, it's like, it's like a lot of movements, obviously, like we're coming into train to get strong, hopefully improve that movement. But it's like sometimes if a movement is just like either not great for your anatomy or it's, for some reason it's just not clicking. It's like, it's okay to like have movements that you're not like pushing to the maximum all the time. It's like, sometimes you just got to spend time figuring it out and like greasing the groove. And kind of like you said, it's like, where does my body go? How am I hinging? What am I doing? Because then once you figure it out, then you could go heavy and you can go hard. But it's like, I think sometimes, like I said, it's like, it's almost like that type A personality of like, I need to do perfect exercise and, I need to do perfect reps. And it's like, dude, like you just gotta literally like some movements, you gotta figure out how to do them before you can start actually progressing them too, which I think is a huge point.
No, that's definitely huge. Like, you want to always make sure that your technique is where you want your technique to be before we begin that kind of progression through to get work closer to failure, to add weight, et cetera, et cetera. And that in specific situation you mentioned was very interesting because she was struggling with the B stance RDL, and then she posted a video of her regular RDL, and it was beautiful. It was like perfect form. And so I was kind of like, oh man, like they're the same movement. Like the execution should be identical, but it's like something is going haywire in the brain when you got to put that one leg back as a kickstand and like everything else just doesn't fall in line. And so in situations like that, I mean, what is the overriding goal? The overriding goal is to do a hip hinge movement that is lengthened overloaded, meaning it's hardest at the bottom. So doing a regular RDL would literally be the best choice. If you're not doing B stance RDLs, just do an RDL. It's still an RDL. It's checking that box. So.
You just made my day, Brian, because I am not good at B stance RDLs.
love them.
I feel this woman because I'm terrible at them.
Well, it's funny because it just gave me like similar sentiments because when I was at the gym the other night, like the compound keeps getting all these new machines. And so obviously you're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna go try this. And it's like, there are these two, it's a leg curl and leg extension machine. I've never seen this brand before. And they work perfectly for Charlie's anatomy. Like he loves them. They're the jam. And we spent like 5 or 10 minutes on each machine, like moving the seat forward, moving it back, doing all these things. And literally by the time I was there, I was like, yo, I just came here to lift. Now I'm frustrated. I like took a picture, giving like a middle finger to the machine. So it's like, I think that's also, like I said, it's like, just understand that like everybody has movements or everybody has machines that like just don't work great for them. And that's okay.